BGMC. The biblical truth lives here.
The ancient Hebrew scriptures foretold of the Anointed One, Yeshua HaMashiach. The Messiah Yeshua came to call the people back to the truth of His word and to follow that righteous path. Yeshua then called Jewish men to be His disciples, and after His death and resurrection, those Jewish men told the world about the Jewish Messiah. Now, after 2,000 years, Beth Goyim Messianic congregation has that same calling of those Jewish men, telling all people, both Jew and Gentile, about the proper ancient path, teaching the Route 66 King's Highway from Genesis through to Revelation, and how you need and can get back to the proper roots of the faith and a closer walk with God. Now, let's hear the message.
Let's go get a blessing. Turn to the book of Bereshit, Genesis chapter 6.
Vamos al primer libro de la Biblia, el libro de Génesis, capítulo 6.
I know I said we're going to be doing Matthew,
Yo sé que dije que íbamos a estudiar Mateo.
but we did a lot of the Matthew chapter 5 already,
Ya estudiamos bastante de Mateo capítulo 5
to
ya.
the tune of 1,076 slides.
A 1076.
1,076.
1076 diapositivas.
And that was only Matthew chapter 5, verse 1 through 13.
Y eso era solamente Mateo capítulo 5 versículos 1 al 13.
So what the Lord put on my heart is to, maybe for a couple of weeks, to the Parasha.
Lo que el Señor ha puesto en mi corazón es tal vez por un par de semanas estudiar la Parasha.
But just do the main word in the whole parasha.
Es estudiar la palabra principal de la Parasha.
Okay, so we're going to be doing parasha number 2.
Vamos a estudiar la segunda Parasha.
So we're in the City Gate Bible Study parasha number 2, Noach.
Estamos en el estudio bíblico de la puerta de la ciudad, Parasha número 2, Noach.
Let's go on to next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
What we're going to do first is a summary of the parasha,
Lo que vamos a hacer es un resumen del Parasha.
so you can understand about what the whole Torah parasha means Torah portion.
La palabra Parasha significa porción de la Torah.
And then we're going to just do a summary of what you were supposed to have read this week.
Y vamos a hacer un resumen de lo que debíamos de haber leído esta semana.
And then we're going to pick the key theme for that whole parasha.
Y vamos a escoger el tema principal de ese Parasha.
So let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
In the first summary slide that we have here,
En la primera diapositiva de resumen que tenemos aquí,
we have Noach being the only righteous man on the whole planet.
tenemos a Noé siendo el único hombre justo en el mundo.
The whole planet is consumed by violence and corruption,
El mundo está consumido por violencia y corrupción,
which pretty much parallels what the world is going through today.
que es un paralelo de lo que está sucediendo en el mundo hoy día.
And YEHOVAH the Father tells him to build an ark, a teivah.
Y Jehová, el Padre, le dice que construye una teivah. Teivah.
It's
teivah. Un arca.
It's all these transliteration.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically a gigantic barge.
Básicamente
A boat with no steering.
Un barco gigantesco.
Because Noah couldn't steer the ark.
porque Noach no pudo guiar el arca.
And then because there's so much violence and corruption in the entire world.
Y porque hay tanta violencia y corrupción en el mundo entero,
In Parasha number 2, Yehovah says he's going to wipe out the entire world.
en Parasha número 2, Dios Padre dice que va a destruir el mundo entero.
Because of the violence
Por la
and the
violen-
corruption.
Por la violencia y la corrupción.
That everything that has breath is going to die except for these 8 people on the ark.
Que todo lo que respira va a morir excepto estas 8 personas que están en el arca.
But the key here is the violence and the corruption.
Pero la clave aquí es la violencia y la corrupción.
And the world is definitely in that position now.
Y el mundo definitivamente está en esa posición ahora mismo.
We're watching an interview with a man that rescues abducted children.
Estábamos viendo una entrevista con un hombre que rescata a los niños que son víctimas de ¿qué? De violencia.
Yeah, sex trafficking.
Traficantes de sexo.
Okay. And there's over 8 million children that are missing.
Hay más de 8 millones de niños que están desaparecidos.
And that's part of the plagues of Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26.
Y eso es parte de las plagas de Deuteronomio 28 y Levíticos
26.
26.
Okay. And the reason we're talking about this because you'll see in a little while.
Y la razón por qué estamos hablando de esto van a ver entre un ratito.
So Yehovah says he's going to send a great flood, which he did.
Jehová dijo que iba a enviar un diluvio y la cual él hizo.
And then the ark would float above everything that was dead.
Y entonces el arca iba a flotar por encima de todo lo que estaba muerto.
And there were 8 people that were in the ark.
Y habían 8 personas en el arca.
Mr. and Mrs. Noach
El señor y señora Noé
and his 3 sons and their 3 wives.
y sus 3 hijos y las esposas de ellos.
And then 7 clean pairs of animals,
Y 7 pares de animales puros, limpios,
male and female.
macho y hembra.
I know that's hard to say nowadays.
Yo sé que es difícil decir eso hoy en día.
7 pairs of clean animals,
7 pares de animales limpios,
but only 1 set of pigs.
pero solamente un par de cerdos, chanchos.
Okay. Going on to the next slide.
En la próxima diapositiva.
Then the rain falls for 40 days and 40 nights,
Y entonces la lluvia cae por 40 días y 40 noches.
and the water is churning for 150 days.
Y la agua se está removiendo por 150 días.
And then it begins to calm down,
Se comienza a calmarse
and then the ark settles on Mount Ararat.
y entonces se sitúa el arca en el monte de Ararat.
But the waters are still
Ararat.
not Yasser Arafat, but
Not Ya-
Ararat.
No Yasser Arafat, pero Ararat.
Okay. And then Noach sends out a raven,
Y entonces Noé envía un cuervo
and then he sends out a dove,
y entonces envía una tórtola
because he's seeing if the world is livable yet.
porque quería ver si se podía vivir en la tierra.
Because the main portion of the main understanding of this Torah portion is this.
El entendimiento principal de esta porción de Torah es esta.
And the people don't want to ask this question.
Y la gente no quiere hacer esta pregunta.
Is why did Yehovah flood the earth?
Es por qué Jehová inundó la tierra.
Why was there only one man on the entire planet that was found righteous in his generation?
¿Por qué había solamente un hombre que se encontró justo en toda su generación?
So here the rain falls for 40 days and 40 nights,
Aquí el mundo cae por 40 días y 40 noches.
and then the water is over the whole earth for 150
Y
days,
entonces las aguas estaban sobre la tierra por 150 días.
and then The ark finally comes to rest where it's not floating around anymore.
Entonces la arca se sitúa donde ya no está flotando, en el monte de Ararat.
And when the ground dries up completely, they're in the ark 365 days.
Y entonces cuando la tierra se secó por completo, ellos se mantuvieron en el arca por 365 días.
Imagine being in a place
Ufa.
for 1 year.
Hey, fufa. You can cook a lot of fried chicken with all that gas. No.
Well, they had a window to release it.
Imagínate estar en ese arca por 365 días.
And you couldn't go out on the deck to
Y no podía salir de adentro del arca ni por la ventanita de 18
because
pulgadas.
they only had a window that was 18 inches big
Yeah, solamente había una ventanilla de 18 pulgadas
and only one door.
y solo una puerta.
And you open that door, you're going to let all the water in.
Sí, abres esa puerta va a entrar todo el agua.
Now, the ark had 3 decks,
El arca tenía 3 niveles.
but imagine being in this one place with the same 8 people for 1 year.
Imagínate estar en este mismo lugar con la misma 8 personas por un año.
You guys got a problem to spending a whole Shabbat together.
Ustedes tienen un problema pasando solo un Shabbat juntos.
Imagine being cooped up in an ark for a year.
Imagínate estar en un arca por un año. Uf,
But remember,
se matan.
these are the only righteous people on the planet.
Estos eran los únicos personas justos en el planeta por Ram. With all these, if you had all these people in the ark for a whole year, you die when you die.
Well, at least you all got smelly together. And you see there were no pregnant women on the ark.
Y ves que no habían mujeres embarazadas en el arca.
Okay, because, whew.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Then after they get off the ark,
Entonces cuando salen del arca,
Noach offers an offering to the Father,
Noach le ofrece un holocausto al Señor.
and YEHOVAH smells the sweet aroma of the offering.
Y Jehová huele el dulce aroma de la ofrenda.
Now-
Huele el dulce aroma de la ofrenda.
Now, this is a very key understanding.
Esto es un entendimiento clave.
Why do we need this understanding?
¿Por qué es que necesitamos este entendimiento?
Because one, there were no Jews on the planet then.
Porque número uno, no habían judíos en el planeta en ese
So
entonces.
effectively, a Gentile was offering something to the Lord,
So, efectivamente, un gentil le estaba haciendo una ofrenda al Señor.
and Abraham was not born.
Y Abraham no había nacido todavía.
The first Hebrew was not born yet,
El
not
primer
for
hebreo no había nacido todavía.
quite some time yet.
Por mucho tiempo todavía.
Wait 1 second till the translation's done. Okay, go ahead, Chris. The first Adam and Chava were not Hebrews,
Adán y Eva no eran hebreos.
because Abraham is the first Hebrew. He's called the first Hebrew.
Abraham es llamado el primer hebreo.
Okay. Now the Torah was not written
La Torah no estaba escrita todavía
on paper,
en papel.
but yet Noach is building an altar.
Pero Noé construyó un altar.
He's not in Israel,
Él no está en Israel
and he's not a Jew
y no es judío
or a Hebrew.
O
It's
un
proper to
hebreo.
call them Hebrews.
o un hebreo. Es apropiado llamarlos hebreos.
The word Jew is just synonymous with all the Jewish people on the globe.
El término judío es sinónimo con todos los que estaban en el valle.
And we're under grace.
Y estamos bajo la gracia.
But yet the Lord destroyed the whole earth,
Pero el Señor destruyó la tierra entera,
killing all the animals.
matando todos los animales.
Everything that has breath died,
Todo lo que tenía aliento murió,
except for those that were on the ark.
excepto aquellos que estaban en el arca.
And yet Noach builds an altar. He knows how to build an altar.
Y Noé sabía cómo construir un altar
And he offers something to the Lord, a burnt offering.
y le hace un holocausto al Señor.
Okay, so people that say that you
Yeah,
can't...
un holocausto es una ofrenda quemada.
Uh-huh. So people that say you can't do offerings all around the globe
Aquellos que dicen que no se puede hacer ofrendas en el mundo
have never read Bereshit, Genesis chapter 6.
nunca han leído Génesis capítulo
Well,
6.
maybe it's 7 and 8 at this point.
7 y 8 ahí en este
They've
punto.
never read Parasha number 2.
¿De what?
They have never read Parasha number 2.
Ellos nunca han leído el segundo Parash.
And
Parasha.
you can listen to great worship music on WTRCradio.com. Okay. So, when people, we do offerings here at Bethlehem.
Hacemos ofrendas aquí en Bethcoin.
And we have 2 altars built in the state of North Carolina.
Tenemos 2 altares edificados en el estado de North Carolina del Norte.
And every Rosh Chodesh at minimum,
Y al mínimo en cada Rosh Chodesh
we do an offering on that day.
hacemos una ofrenda en ese día.
If YEHOVAH is the same yesterday, today, and forever,
Si Jehová es el mismo ayer, hoy, para siempre,
then you can build an altar according to the written Torah now,
entonces puedes edificar un altar de acuerdo a la Torah escrita ahora
and do an offering no matter where you live.
y hacer una ofrenda no importa dónde vivas.
Okay? So Noach does an offering,
Entonces Noé hace una ofrenda
and YEHOVAH smells a sweet aroma,
y Jehová huele el aroma dulce.
because this is why we know God is a man,
Por eso que sabemos que Dios es hombre,
because all men love barbecues.
porque a todos los hombres les gustan la barbacoa, la parrilla.
Okay? Because God is like, yeah, what's cooking down there?
Dios estaba que, qué rico huele allá abajo.
And it's beef, it's not vegetables.
Y es carne de res, no es vegetales.
And that's why we know God is a man.
Por eso que sabemos que Dios es un hombre.
Because it was a burnt offering, it was a beef offering.
Porque era un holocausto, era
It was a meat
una
offering.
ofrenda de carne.
It was a meat offering, yum, yum, yum.
Carne.
Okay, then YEHOVAH is so blessed,
Entonces,
YEHOVAH is so blessed,
y Jehová es tan bendecido
that he promises to never flood the entire earth again, and he gives us the rainbow.
que Él promete nunca inundar el mundo y nos entrega el arco iris.
The rainbow is to remind us of corruption.
El arco iris está ahí para acordarnos de la corrupción.
That's why it's so beautiful that we see so many rainbow flags all around.
Es por eso que es tan bello que vemos de tantas banderas de arco iris.
No, it's really, actually, it's a warning, and you're going to see that in this study.
Actualmente es una advertencia y van a poder ver eso en este estudio.
Because why did God flood the earth?
¿Por qué fue que Dios inundó al mundo?
We're going to see that in this key word to this study.
Vamos a ver eso en esta palabra clave para este estudio.
So, yes, Denise, one question.
Pregúntale que si ese arco iris que nosotros vemos a veces cuando deja de llover, ¿eso se está recordando eso o es sencillamente luz?
Okay.
Se manifiesta.
She's asking if the rainbows that we see like after it rains, is it that, that warning or that for us to remember, or is it just an apparition of light or something, a reflection of light?
Well, if you believe in the Bible,
Bueno, si crees en la Biblia,
that is the Word of God,
entonces que es la palabra de Dios,
which I do,
que yo sí,
and I use this as my life's understanding.
y uso esto como el entendimiento de mi vida.
Every rainbow is a reminder of God's promises.
Cada arco iris es un acuerdo de las promesas de Dios.
And 2 weeks ago, when the congregation was going through some minor trouble,
Y cuando un par de semanas atrás, cuando la congregación estaba viendo un poco de problema,
God sent us a sign from heaven.
Dios nos envió una seña del cielo.
Remember when I said it was raining 2 weeks ago?
¿Te acuerdas cuando dije que estaba lloviendo hace 2 semanas atrás?
And then the sun came out?
Y el sol salió.
There were 2 rainbows in the parking lot.
Habían 2 arcoíris en el
In the parking
parqueadero,
lot.
En el parqueadero.
And the funny thing is,
Y lo gracioso es,
one of the end of the rainbows was sitting on top of McDonald's.
uno de los arcoíris cayó encima del McDonald's.
The golden arches hit the golden arches. And my son Connor got a
cayeron
picture.
encima de las arcas de oro.
And my son Connor got a picture of it in full spectrum of color.
Oh, wow. Y el hijo de él pudo sacarle una foto.
And not just one rainbow, but 2.
No solamente uno, pero 2.
So a double promise from God.
Una doble promesa de Dios.
But the rainbow, which is not really the focus of this parasha,
Pero el arco iris en verdad no es el enfoque de este parashá.
the rainbow reminds us of why God, Yehovah the Father, did it.
El arco iris nos acuerda por qué Jehová el Padre lo hizo.
And that's what we're going to be studying tonight, because that's the main purpose of this parasha.
Y eso es lo que vamos a estudiar esta tarde porque ese es el propósito principal de este parashá.
The rainbow is a sign that God has been putting up throughout the globe.
El arco iris es la seña que Dios que ha puesto alrededor del mundo.
It reminds us that God is slow to anger,
Nos acuerda que el Señor es lento para la ira,
but he does get angry.
pero sí se aira.
And when you're the person that makes him angry,
Y cuando tú eres el que lo haces enojar,
he will chastise.
te castiga.
Now remember, this is before the written Torah.
Acuérdate que esto fue antes de la Torah escrita.
This is before there were any Hebrews on the planet.
Esto fue antes de que existieran hebreos en la tierra.
Abraham has not even been born.
Abraham no ha nacido.
Moshe has not received the written Torah.
Moshe no ha recibido la Torah escrita.
But there's a reason that we're studying this parasha this week.
Pero hay una razón por qué estamos estudiando esta parashá esta semana.
Now I know it's not the same one as the Orthodox are doing,
Yo sé que no es el mismo que están haciendo los ortodoxos.
because when the Lord had me start Beth Goim,
Porque cuando el Señor quiso que yo comenzara Beth Cohen,
we used to follow the cycle of the Orthodox Jews, which is a good cycle.
nosotros seguíamos el ciclo de los ortodoxos.
But there is so much information in parasha number 1 and 2.
Pero hay tanta información en los primeros 2 parashá,
Even at any level that you're at,
no importa el nivel en cual tú estés.
you shouldn't rush reading God's Word,
No debes de apresurarte en leer la palabra de Dios,
especially when you're new.
especialmente cuando son nuevos.
So the Orthodox sometimes do two portions during the same week.
Hay veces que los ortodoxos hacen 2 porciones en la misma semana.
I don't agree with that type of behavior.
Yo no estoy de acuerdo con ese comportamiento.
I think you should spend a lot of time in God's Word.
Yo pienso que debes de dedicar mucho tiempo a la palabra de Dios.
If in Devarim 30 it says the Torah is your life,
En Deuteronomio 30 dice que la Torá es tu vida.
why would one want to rush reading what you're supposed to have a foundation of?
¿Por qué uno quiere apresurarse en leer apresurarse a leer lo que debe de ser tu cimiento?
Now there's a reason I'm saying all that,
Hay una razón por la cual digo eso.
because there's 3 key words in this parasha that we're going to go over.
En esta parashá hay 3 palabras claves la cual vamos a revisar.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
This is still the summary.
Esto es todavía el resumen.
The descendants of Noach remain as a single people,
Los descendientes de Noé todavía se mantienen como un pueblo singular,
with a single culture
con una cultura singular
and a single
y
language.
una lengua singular.
But then people get arrogant,
Entonces se vuelven un poco arrogantes.
and Torah is in our heart,
La Torá existe en nuestro corazón,
but also all evil knowledge of all evil is in our heart.
Pero también el conocimiento de la maldad existe en nuestro corazón.
Because as Chris pointed out, we're Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve, Chava is her real name. Weren't they the first Jews? No.
Porque como el hermano termina de señalar y a preguntar que si Adán y Eva eran los primeros judíos.
But we are
No,
descendants of them.
pero somos descendientes de ellos.
And inside of us lies all knowledge of good and evil.
Y entre nosotros existe todo el conocimiento del bien y el mal.
In your DNA, which is quite an amazing thing when you study anatomy and physiology and biology.
En tu ADN, que es tan asombrante cuando estudias anatomía y biología.
When you study DNA, it is really amazing.
Cuando estudias la estructura del ADN es bien maravilloso.
You know, you think, why am I doing these things, or why does that? Why do I feel this way?
Y entonces tú te pones a pensar, ¿por qué yo me siento de esta manera?
It's not reincarnation. That's just stupid.
No es la reencarnación, eso es simplemente estúpido.
It is your DNA.
Es en tu ADN.
There are memories embedded in your DNA.
Hay memorias
Embedded, put in.
Puesto en tu ADN. So, help me understand this, because
It's going to be in the slides.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
So then I'll just wait. I'll wait, and I'll go, and you go, welcome to Beth Goyim.
Yeah, that's right. Everything's leading up to the Ruach is, I'm being led by the Spirit.
Okay, all right. Like I said, I'm going to
It's
wait.
supernatural.
All right, Sid Roth, chill out, right?
Because you're listening to WTRCradio.com. Okay. All right, so all these people are speaking the same language,
Todos están hablando la misma lengua,
the same culture,
la misma cultura,
and they start to say, we want to be gods.
y entonces comienzan a decir que quieren ser dioses.
So they build this great tower
So construyen esta torre gigantesca,
they try to reach the heavens.
tratan de llegar hasta el cielo.
And Yehovah says, look at these people, what are they doing?
Y entonces Elohim dice, mira estos que están haciendo, tan curiosos.
So he then says, let's go down and confuse their language.
Y entonces dice, vamos a bajar y confundir sus lenguas.
Because they were all speaking Hebrew,
Porque todos estaban hablando hebreo
and now they're speaking Spanish.
y ahora están hablando español.
So instead of saying Yeshua, they say Jeshua.
En vez de decir Yeshua, dicen Yeshua.
Okay, because we're going to have a lot of Spanish people in heaven saying Jeshua.
Yeshua, Yeshua.
Okay. And he gives us all the languages of the world.
Y nos da todas las lenguas del mundo.
So you don't know what your cousin is saying anymore.
So ya tú no puedes entender lo que está diciendo tu primo.
But we still have not got to the root cause of why this is happening.
Pero todavía no hemos llegado a la causa, a la raíz de por qué esto está sucediendo, ha sucedido.
So Yehovah goes down and confuses all the languages.
So Jehová baja y confunde las lenguas.
Some are speaking Polish, some are speaking German, and some are speaking Spanish,
Algunos hablan español, alemán, polaco,
and even English.
hasta English.
Well, it's a language.
Yeah,
Where did it come from?
Yeah, but I thought English was developed later.
Well, it could have been. Maybe there was an English-speaking person. Were you at the Tower of Babel?
No, sir.
You are kind of old.
Yeah, I think I'm about as old as dirt.
Okay. All right, so, but that's not the main focus. The Tower of Babel is not the focus.
Pero la Torre de Babel no es el enfoque.
But you see all these topics are in this one Parasha.
Pero tú ves que todas estas temas están en este Parasha.
That's why the triennial Parasha, where you're doing much smaller, but it's 150 portions.
Por eso es que tú puedes ver que en el Parasha de los 3 años, tú estás estudiando menos,
100 over
como
150.
150 Parasha, pero son un poquito más
It's a
pequeños.
3-year cycle. It sometimes is a lot better.
Es un ciclo de 3 años, a veces es mejor.
But we still have not got to the main theme of the parasha.
Pero todavía no hemos llegado al tema principal de este Parasha.
We got the flood.
Tenemos el diluvio,
We got them in the ark for a year.
tenemos a ellos en el arca por un año,
A solar year, 365 days.
un año solar.
Okay. Then we got an offering.
Tenemos una ofrenda.
Then we got Noach getting drunk and he's in his tent. That whole situation.
Tenemos a Noé que se embriagó en su tienda.
You got the one son that makes fun of his father.
Tiene el hijo que se burló de su padre.
Instead of just closing the tent door,
En vez de cerrar la tienda,
you got the 2 other sons dropping their mantle over the father's nudity.
tienes los otros 2 hijos que caminan de espalda a tapar la desnudez de su padre. Thank you.
Yes, Natalie? Oh, you just, okay. Okay. And then you got the whole Tower of
Y
Babel.
entonces tenemos la torre de Babel.
But why did this all happen?
Pero ¿por qué sucedió todo esto?
Let's go to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima
The
diapositiva.
City Gate Bible Study, Parasha number 2, Noach, main concept.
El estudio bíblico de la puerta a la ciudad, Parasha número 2, Noach, el concepto principal.
Now we're going to get to each week I'm going to bring a main concept of the entire portion.
Cada semana voy a presentar un concepto principal de cada porción de la Parasha,
Up until you get to Devarim.
hasta que lleguemos a Deuteronomio.
Once you get to Deuteronomy,
Ya cuando cuando lleguemos a Deuteronomio,
that is the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, is a synopsis of the other 4 books.
el libro de Deuteronomio es un sinopsis o un resumen de los otros 4 libros.
So in one parasha, you have many different themes.
En una Parasha tienen varios temas.
Yes. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. But in the other 4 books,
En los otros 4 libros
you have a particular main concept for each parasha.
Para cada Parasha, en los primeros 4 libros hay un concepto principal.
And then each parasha generally is broken up into generally 7 sections
Y cada Parasha, por lo general, está dividido en 7 secciones,
called aliyahs.
que se titulan aliás.
Because you're called up to the Torah to read a section which is called an aliyah.
Porque se te llama para leer una sección de la Torah que se llama en hebreo un aliá.
So if you're in the synagogue that's going to read the entire Torah portion in Hebrew,
Si está en una sinagoga que va a leer la porción entera de la Parashá en hebreo,
you'll sing this song once you go. This is all rabbinic. This is not Torah.
Cantarás esta canción, esto es todo rabínico, esto no es Torah.
You'll be called to the Torah. They'll say, Hanon ben Moshe, be called to the Torah.
Dirían, Hanun ben Moshe está siendo llamado a la Torah.
Then you'll sing the song. No, 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 no. No, it's not ringing. They got it from us first.
Yeah, I know they did.
We started it.
I know we did.
Okay, and then you read one of the aliyahs.
Y entonces leerás uno de los aliás.
And you don't read, you sort of sing the Torah portion.
Y no se lee como leer, sino se lee en cántico.
Because it's easier to remember things with a song.
Porque es más fácil recordarse de las cosas en una canción.
Except if you're Spanish.
Excepto si eres español. Then you start singing. Me gusta cómo lo hace y
All right, but in the other 4 books, there's a concept for each parasha.
En los otros 4 libros hay un concepto principal para cada.
So let's go to the next slide.
So vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Now let's turn to the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24,
Vamos a ver en el libro de Mateo, capítulo 24,
verse 37 to 39.
versículos 37 al 39.
Because this is a very important parasha. Matthew 24, verses 37 to 39.
Porque este parashá es bien importante. Mateo, el Evangelio de Mateo, capítulo 24, versículos 37 al 39.
Matthew 24, verses 37 to 39.
Mateo 24, versículos 37 al 39. Estás escuchando a
We got
WTRC.
Haman Toshin here at the Bible study. What they're missing.
Estás escuchando a WTRC
.com. All right, everybody got Matthew 24? That's in the New Testament for you rookies. That's the first book in the New Testament. Go to Malachi and make a right.
No, actually Chronicles and make a right.
Oh,
They
he's got the CJB.
He's got the CJB.
Okay, everybody got it? Okay, for the Son of Man's coming will be just as it was in the days of Noach. Back then, before the flood, people went on eating and drinking, taking wives and becoming wives, right up till the day Noach entered the ark. And they didn't know what was happening until the flood came and swept them all away. It will be just like that when the Son of Man comes. Okay, amen?
Amen.
So in verse 37,
So en el versículo 37,
Yeshua points to the days of Noach.
Yeshua nos señala los días de Noé.
So it's going to be something very important for us to understand.
Eso va a ser algo sumamente importante para nosotros entender.
Because you have to understand the days of Noach, the main concept.
Porque tienes que entender el concepto principal de los días de Noé.
Now in verse 38,
Ahora en el versículo 38,
it doesn't look like there's anything bad.
vemos que no parece que hay algo malo.
Let's look at verse 38.
Miremos al versículo 38.
Back then, before the flood, people went on eating and drinking, taking wives and becoming wives, right up until the day Noach entered the ark. Doesn't sound like anything bad is happening.
No suena como algo malo está sucediendo.
Then why did Noach enter the ark?
Entonces, ¿por qué Noé entró al arca?
Why did Jehovah destroy everything that had breath?
¿Por qué fue que Jehová destruyó todo lo que tenía aliento? Lo que
And why is Yeshua saying, when I come back, it's going to be just like those
¿Y
days?
por qué Yeshua dijo que cuando yo regrese va a ser igual que esos días?
What precedes Yeshua coming back?
¿Qué precede o sucede antes de que Yeshua regrese?
Let me say that again.
Voy a repetir eso.
What precedes Yeshua before he can come back?
¿Qué sucede antes de que Yeshua pueda regresar?
Because many Christians say, oh, Jesus could come back at any day.
Porque los cristianos dicen Yeshua o Jesús puede venir a cualquier hora.
You know,
I've heard
he
that
can,
before.
he can come back at any moment, just any moment.
Él
No?
puede regresar en cualquier momento.
Then that would break his own law.
Entonces eso quebrantaría su propia ley.
Because before Yeshua comes back,
Porque antes de que Yeshua vuelva,
he has to open 7 seals.
él tiene que abrir 7 sellos,
He has to command 7 shofars to be sounded
tiene que sonar 7 chofares
and 7 bowls to be poured out all over the earth.
y 7 copas que se derramará sobre la tierra.
And it's not a bowl of cereal or a bowl of onion soup.
Y no es una copa de cereal o de sopa de cebolla.
Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
Yeah, right?
Okay, it's not a bowl of life cereal.
No es un plato de cereal de life.
Okay, when the 4th seal is open,
Cuando el cuarto sello se abra,
25% of the world that's living under grace
25% de la población que está viviendo bajo la gracia
is going to die.
se va a morir.
So there's 8 billion people
Van a
on
morir.
the 7 or 8 billion people on the planet,
Hay como 8 billones de personas en la tierra.
and the Chinese are killing a lot right now.
Y los chinos están matando muchos ahora.
Bioweapon, keep it there.
Yeah. Arma biológica, manténgalo allá.
You all might want to read the reports.
Yeah. Quieran leer los reportes.
Have your hyssop and have your cassia,
Compren su hisopo y su casia.
because it enters through your nose.
Entra por la nariz and by the eyes. But did you know that there was a report that said that they were treating it with HIV medication?
Right, because it's got 4 HIV strands.
Yes. Yes.
With the spikes.
Yeah.
It's got 4.
Tiene 4 conexiones o
The
patitas
DNA. Anyway, let's stay on
VIH.
this because this is why he's doing it.
Por eso que él está haciendo esto.
Because before Yeshua comes back,
Antes de que regrese Yeshua,
he points to the days of Noach.
él señala hacia los días de Noé.
So what's so important about Parasha number 2 in the Parasha is called Noach?
So, ¿qué es tan importante en el segundo parashá que se titula Noé?
What is the main concept of the Parasha?
¿Cuál es el concepto principal de este parashá?
Okay, let me just use texting in here. Is it better now, Denise? Just text me and I'll see. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Turn now back. Now, you can hold your place in Matthew, but turn back now to Genesis chapter 6, verse 9.
Mantengan su lugar en Mateo, pero regresemos a Génesis capítulo 6, versículo 9.
Parasha 6, verse 9, Genesis 6, verse 9.
Génesis capítulo 6, versículo 9. Bereshit 6, 9, por favor.
Genesis 6, verse 9. This is City Gate Messianic Bible Study, Parasha number 2, City Gate style. Salud.
Salud.
Keep your germs there. Coronavirus. Corona.
You seen the Heinekens with the mask in front
Yeah.
of the Corona? That was funny.
All right. Bereshit 6, verse 9.
Génesis capítulo 6, versículo 9.
Here is the history of Noach. In his generation, Noach was a man righteous and wholehearted. Noach walked with God. Okay, so now we need to understand for this concept
Para este concepto,
that we need to understand 2 words.
necesitamos entender 2 palabras.
And the 2 words are righteous
Y las 2 palabras
and wholehearted.
Es justo, wholehearted in Spanish. No.
Oh, don't worry about wholehearted because I'm going to give you other words in a moment.
De todo corazón.
So let's see what righteous is in the Hebrew.
Vamos a ver qué es justo en el hebreo.
Okay, righteous is H6662.
Justo es el H6662.
And it's the Hebrew word Zadi.
Y es la palabra hebrea, Zadi.
Zadi. Okay, it means number 1,
Significa número 1.
lawful. Lawful, meaning following the law.
Siguiendo la ley, obedeciendo la ley,
The laws of God.
las leyes de Dios.
Righteous.
Justo.
Righteous. Number 2, righteous in government.
Número 2, justo en el gobierno.
Now, number 3 ties together with this past Shabbat's lesson.
La definición número 3 se enlaza o se encaja con la lección de este último Shabbat.
Which was 777, striving for perfection.
Que era 777, luchando para la perfección.
Number 3 means righteous in conduct and in character.
Número 3 significa, la definición número 3 es justo en conducta y carácter.
Righteous in conduct and in character.
Justo en conducta y carácter.
So YEHOVAH is saying that Noach in his generation is a man that was righteous.
Aquí dice que Noé era un hombre justo en su generación.
Now let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Now there's a second word in verse 9 that we need to fully understand.
Hay una segunda palabra en el versículo 9 que necesitamos entender.
It is wholehearted, and in some translation it is the word blameless.
Es Es la palabra de todo corazón y o a veces en otras traducciones es intachable.
I don't know that one.
Intachable.
Okay. It is it is H8549.
Es H8549.
It is the Hebrew root word tamim.
Es la palabra hebrea tamim.
Number 1 means complete,
El número 1 significa completo.
whole,
Completo.
entire.
Entero.
Okay. So he was whole with the Lord.
Él era entero o completo con el Señor.
He was complete with the Lord.
Era completo con el Señor.
And number 3,
Y número 3,
sound, like solid,
sólido,
unimpaired. Nothing
sin
blocking between him and God.
no había obstáculo entre él y Dios.
Sin puts something between you and God.
El pecado pone un obstáculo un obstáculo entre tú y Dios.
It's a very important understanding because
Es un entendimiento bien importante porque
this is part of the main concept of why the Lord is going to flood the whole earth. This is part of the main concept
Esto es parte del concepto principal
of why the Lord is going to flood the earth.
de por qué el Señor iba a inundar la tierra.
Now, if he's got thousands of people being unimpaired to following his laws,
Si tiene miles de personas que están sin obstáculos para poder obedecer su ley,
even if he has 10
aunque él tenga 10,
people following him who are unimpaired,
aunque tenga 10 personas que lo estén siguiendo sin obstáculos, sin obstáculos.
okay, very important to understand that concept
Es bien importante entender ese concepto,
because later on in Genesis 18
porque luego en Génesis capítulo 8,
Jehovah has a
18,
Jehovah has a conversation with Abraham
Jehová tiene una conversación con Abraham
about the impending destruction to Sodom and Gomorrah.
de la destrucción venidera de Sodoma y Gomorra. And the word for unimpaired in Spanish is indemne,
Okay, say that in Spanish to the Spanish people.
o intacto. Intacto. It says it right there.
Say it in Spanish to the Spanish people.
I did. La palabra para unimpaired es intacto o indemne.
Okay. So Jehovah has a conversation with Abraham.
Jehová tiene una conversación con Abraham.
Said if he finds 10 people
Él dice que si él haya 10 personas
in those 2 cities,
en esas 2 ciudades,
he would not destroy those places.
él no destruirá esos 2 lugares.
But he didn't find them
Pero no lo encontró.
because there's a parallel that a word that's going to be used.
Porque hay un paralelo de una palabra que se va a usar.
Now, also in the word tamim definition number 3,
También en la palabra tamim, en la definición número 3,
it means innocent
significa inocente
or having integrity.
o teniendo integridad.
And that
Tener
was,
integridad.
that was a very big part of this past Shabbat's lesson.
Eso fue una gran parte de la lección pasada de este Shabbat.
So here, he was not going to destroy them,
Aquí él no los iba a destruir,
but he's only going to find one man with integrity.
pero él solamente va a encontrar a un hombre con integridad.
So that one man saved his family,
So ese hombre pudo salvar a su familia,
but he couldn't save the entire world.
pero no podía salvar el mundo entero.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
The City Gate Bible Study, Parasha number 2.
El estudio bíblico de la puerta de la ciudad, Parasha número 2, estudio número 2,
It is Noach.
es Noah.
The main concept of the entire portion,
El concepto principal de la porción entera,
you have to understand the concept of being corrupt or corrupted.
tienes que entender el concepto de ser corrupto o corrompido.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima
Let's
diapositiva.
now look at Genesis 6, verse 11 and 12.
Vamos a ver ahora a Génesis capítulo 6, versículos 11 y 12.
The earth was corrupt before God,
Eh,
and the earth was filled with violence. God saw the earth and saw that it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their ways on the earth. So this is the main concept of why the Lord, that's Representative Kelly in her class, why the Lord floods the earth.
Ahora, este es el concepto que tenemos que entender por qué el Señor inundó la tierra.
Why he keeps them in the ark for a year.
¿Por qué Él los mantuvo en el arca por un año?
Why he then has to offer, Noach offers on an altar after they get out of the ark.
¿Por qué es que Noé hizo una ofrenda sobre un altar cuando salieron del arca?
But it also reminds us
Pero también nos acuerda,
that being righteous or zadik
siendo justo o ser sadik,
is a personal choice.
es una elección personal.
Because if Noach was righteous
Porque si Noé era justo
and he saved his whole
y
family,
pudo salvar a su familia,
people are always, saying, one of the sons must have been bad.
la gente dice que uno de los hijos tenía que ser malo.
Well, one of the family lines does get cursed.
Uno de las lineajes familiares es maldecida.
But righteousness, being a tzaddik, is a choice every person has to make.
Pero el ser sadik es una elección que cada persona tiene que hacer.
But we look at verse 11 and 12.
Miramos el versículo 11 y 12 nuevamente.
The earth was corrupt before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. Elohim saw the earth and saw that it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. Now I'm using the proper term for the word God in verse 11 and 12.
Estoy usando el término correcto para la palabra Dios en versículos 11 y 12.
It's very important to understand that it's Elohim,
Es bien importante entender que aquí se está refiriendo a Elohim.
because when you say Elohim,
Porque cuando dices Elohim,
it is the Godhead.
es la naturaleza de Dios.
It is the Father, the Son, and the Ruach HaKodesh.
Es el Padre, el Hijo y el Ruach HaKodesh.
And if you don't believe in the three, read your Bible,
Y si no crees en los tres, lean su Biblia.
because they're all found in Genesis chapter 1.
Porque los tres se encuentran en Génesis capítulo 1.
Okay, so if you want that study, it's already on the website.
Si quieres ese estudio, ya está en la página web.
But there's a key word that is used 3 times in the 2 sentences.
Pero hay una palabra clave que se usa 3 veces en los 2 versículos.
It is the word corrupt.
Es la palabra corrupto.
The main concept of Parasha number 2 is being corrupt.
El concepto principal de Parasha número 2 es ser corrupto.
And remember, Yeshua said his coming back
Acuérdate que Yeshua dijo que iba a regresar,
was going to be like in the times of Noach.
que Yeshua dijo que su regreso iba a ser como en los días de Noé.
And people won't know what's happening until it all happens.
Y la gente no van a saber lo que está sucediendo hasta que suceda.
Because when you're corrupted,
Porque cuando está corrompido,
you don't understand what God is doing.
no estás entendiendo lo que Dios está haciendo.
When there's a plague, a man-made plague going on in China,
Cuando hay una plaga hecho por el hombre que está ocurriendo en la China,
that they tried to export to the world,
que trataron de exportar al mundo,
you must have God's hand on you to live.
debes de tener la mano de Dios sobre ti para que vivas.
You must seek being a Zadik righteous.
Debes de buscar ser zadik o justo.
Now, what is the word corrupt?
¿Qué es la palabra corrupto?
Corrupt is H7843.
Corrupto es H7843.
The root word is shakat.
La palabra raíz es shahat. Shahat.
Shakat, it's a chet.
Shahat.
Okay. Shin, chet, tav. Shakat.
Shahat. Shin.
Shakat.
Shahat.
Everybody, shakat.
Shahat.
Okay, we'll start adding some more Hebrew since Rav is doing it too in his class. Okay, I'll make you say it like him. Now, everybody, Rogers. This is Mr. Rogers. We're all going to put on our sweater now. All right. So what does shakat mean?
¿Qué significa shahat?
It means to destroy,
Significa destruir,
corrupt,
corrompir,
go to ruin, or be destroyed.
ser destruido o arruinado.
Decay, as in like,
Deteriorarse,
okay. The next one, to be marred.
pudrirse, ser
Like a mark.
manchado,
Okay. Be spoiled,
dañado,
like bad food.
dañado,
Be,
Podrido.
be corrupted,
ser corrompido,
be ruined,
ser arruinado,
be rotted,
estar podrido,
spoiled,
dañado,
pervert.
pervertido.
And this word in the Tanakh,
Y esta palabra en el Tanakh,
that's the Old Testament,
el Viejo Testamento,
is used 164 times in the Hebrew.
se usa en el hebreo 164 veces.
It is used 164 times. We're not going over all of them,
No vamos a mirarlos todos, pero
because then we'll do a year's study on each.
entonces vamos a pasar un año
Okay.
estudiando esto.
But it's a very important concept understanding.
Pero es un entendimiento, es un concepto importante este entendimiento.
Let's look at verse 11 and 12 again.
Vamos a mirar el versículos 11 y 12
The
nuevamente.
earth was corrupt before God, before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. Elohim saw the earth and saw that it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. So everything was spoiled.
So, todo estaba dañado,
Everything was ruined.
todo estaba arruinado,
Everything was perverted.
todo estaba pervertido.
Sounds a little bit like the world today.
Suena como el mundo de hoy, ¿no?
And it's not because of Bernie Sanders
Y no es porque Bernie Sanders
or Mayor Butthead.
o el alcalde Butthead.
They're a product of a godless society.
Ellos son productos de una sociedad sin Dios.
Remember, our elected officials in any country
Acuérdate que nuestros oficiales eleccionados,
are a product, if the country is democratic,
si el país es democrático,
they're a product of the heart of the people.
son productos del corazón del pueblo.
This is why Yeshua said it'll be like in the day of Noach when he comes back.
Por eso que él dijo que sería como en los días de Noé cuando él vuelva.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at this word shakat, or corrupt.
Lo que vamos a hacer ahora es mirar esta palabra corrupto o shahat,
To understand what Yeshua meant in Matthew 24.
para entender lo que Yeshua dijo en Mateo 24. And the word for elected is elegidos, a ser eleccionados.
We'll say that in Spanish.
La palabra para elected es elegidos, no eleccionados. That's Puerto Rican.
Okay, so everything was ruined.
Todo estaba dañado, arruinado.
Everything's filled with violence.
Todo está lleno de violencia.
Everything's corrupted.
Todo es corrompido.
And then it says in verse 12, all flesh had corrupted their way on the entire earth.
Que dice que toda carne ha corrompido su camino en la tierra entera.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
So what is corruption?
So, ¿qué es la corrupción?
Let's take a look at the Word of God
Vamos a mirar la palabra de Dios
to understand this concept
para entender este concepto
so that we can understand what Yeshua meant
para poder entender qué quiso decir Yeshua.
when he said this corruption will be like when the day I come back.
Que esta corrupción va a ser como en el día que yo venga.
And this is why we study the Torah portion each and every week.
Por eso que estudiamos la porción de la Torah cada semana.
But you got to understand the main concept to understand the whole.
Pero tienes que entender el concepto principal para entenderlo todo.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Let's read verse 11, Bereshit 6, verse 11.
Vamos a leer Génesis capítulo 6, versículo 11.
The earth was corrupt before God, before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. Okay, corruption is multi-layered.
La corrupción, la palabra corrupción tiene muchos niveles.
Now, what is violence?
¿Qué es la violencia?
In Hebrew, it is H2555.
En hebreo es el H2555.
You might know this Hebrew word.
Tal vez conozca esta palabra hebrea.
The word for violence is Hamas.
La palabra para violencia es jamás.
And Hamas means
Y jamás significa
violence,
violencia,
cruelty,
crueldad,
injustice.
injusticia.
Violence,
Violencia,
cruelty,
crueldad,
injustice.
injusticia.
So when Yeshua said in Matthew 24
Y cuando Yeshua dijo en Mateo 24
that people will be giving and taking in marriage,
que la gente se darán en casamiento, en matrimonio,
he prefaced it by it was going to be like in the days of Noah.
él dijo que iba a ser igual que en los días de Noé.
So yeah, he had a wife, but he stole her.
Sí,
He abducted her.
tenía una esposa, pero la secuestró.
Or he raped her first and then said, I want her as my wife.
O la violó primero y después declaró que la quiere por su esposa, like the prince of Shechem, right?
Yeah,
Not Shechem?
that raped Dinah.
Yeah, that raped Dinah. Yeah.
He had a little bit, they took a little bit off his top.
Or for everybody's top.
Uh-huh.
That's why God said, you don't use that for
Okay. So here, everything is injustice.
Todo es injusto.
And if you watch the news, and we give the news out every Shabbat here,
Y si miras la noticia y repartimos la noticia cada Shabbat aquí,
there is much injustice in the world right now.
hay mucha injusticia en el mundo en este momento.
And with all the child abductions going on around the globe,
Y con todos los secuestros de niños alrededor del mundo,
and the child sex slaves that are going on around the globe,
y los
8 million.
esclavos de sexo, de los niños que son esclavos de sexo alrededor del mundo, son 8
8
millones.
million. 8 million.
8 millones.
Now, this one girl that they rescued had been raped 60,000 times.
Una niña que rescataron fue violada 60,000 veces.
And she had been abducted at, I think they said 5 or 3.
A ella la secuestraron a la edad de 3 o 5, no me acuerdo.
Now, anybody with a brain cell would think that's disgusting.
Alguien que tuviera sentido común diría que eso es repugnante.
But there's the biggest offenders of this is right here in America.
Los culpables de esto, la mayoría de los culpables de esto existen aquí mismo en América hoy en día.
Other countries, Americans go to other countries.
Los americanos van a otros países.
See, when you remove God from the society,
¿Ves cuando remueves a Dios de la sociedad?
when you break up the family,
Cuando separas o quebrantas la familia,
when divorce is something that's natural,
cuando el divorcio viene a ser algo que es natural,
but you made a promise to love, honor, and cherish until death do you part.
pero tú hiciste una promesa para amar y honrar hasta la muerte.
We've reached this level of Hamas.
Hemos llegado a este nivel de jamás.
Let's move on to the next slide to understand this shakat.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva para entender este shakat.
Now let's move on to verse 13, Bereshit 6, verse 13.
Vamos a ver el versículo 13 ahora, Génesis 6, 13.
Elohim said to Noach, the end of all living beings has come before me, for because of them the earth is filled with violence. I will destroy them along with the earth. Okay? So Yehovah says,
So, Jehová dice,
he says, in the CJB, I'm going to destroy them.
en la Biblia completa judía, él dice que él los vas a destruir.
Okay, now remember, we're focusing on the word shakat.
Estamos enfocándonos ahora en la palabra shakat.
It's H7843.
Es H7843.
Remember, the first definition is to destroy.
Acuérdate, el primer significado es a destruir.
Now, why is Yehovah, the Father, saying, I'm going to destroy everything?
¿Por qué Jehová el Padre dice que voy a destruirlo todo?
Because they had become corrupted.
Porque se han corrompido.
Everything was not righteous.
Todo no era justo.
See, when you're not following the commandments of God,
Cuando no estás siguiendo los mandamientos
see,
de
he's
Dios.
saying in verse 13,
¿Ves? Él está diciendo en el versículo 13,
I'm going to destroy them.
yo los voy a destruir.
Now remember,
Acuérdense,
God is just.
el Señor es justo.
But the Torah is not written on paper yet.
Pero la Torá todavía no fue escrita en papel.
We're living under grace.
Estamos viviendo bajo la gracia.
But yet he destroys them because they've become corrupted.
Pero al fin él lo destruye a ellos porque se han corrompido.
Let me say that again.
Deja repetir eso.
The main concept
El concepto principal,
before he floods the earth,
antes de que él inunde la tierra,
he says everything has become shakat, corrupted.
Él dice que todo se ha vuelto shahat, corrompido.
They're not following.
Corrupto.
But Noach is a Zadik.
Noah es un zadik.
He is righteous and blameless, wholehearted with him.
Él es justo e intachable de todo corazón.
See, you get the corona sin virus.
Recibes el virus de corona.
See, think about this virus a little bit.
Piensen sobre este virus.
Anybody ever have the flu before?
¿Han tenido el flu?
Yeah, the flu. Because that's what the coronavirus starts out as, the flu.
Así es que comienza el virus de corona.
You know, you start to feel a little crappy.
Empiezas a sentirte un poquito decaído.
Your head starts to be a little stuffed up.
Tu cabeza está un poco congestionado.
Your nose gets a little stuffy.
Se te congestiona la nariz.
Some people lose their appetite.
Hay algunos que pierden el apetito.
Then your eyes start to water.
Entonces tus ojos empiezan a aguarse.
Your body starts to ache.
Tu cuerpo empieza a doler.
Because you're not listening to WTRCradio.com. Okay? So you get, now, think of sin as the coronavirus.
Piense sobre el pecado como si fuera el virus de la corona.
See, the
De
coronavirus
corona.
has been already seen that it won't show up for at least 10 days.
El virus de corona se ha visto que no se revela hasta por 10 días.
So you can come into contact with somebody who has it.
So puedes contagiarte con alguien que lo tiene
And don't know that you're carrying it.
y no saber que lo estás, que lo tienes encima. Right?
It's the way sin is.
Es la misma manera que es el pecado.
See, everything didn't start out like that in Noach.
Todo no comenzó como así en Noah.
It became corrupted.
Se volvió corrupto.
That's the way sin is.
Así es como es el pecado.
See, once you start breaking one rule, it's easy to break the next rule.
Ya cuando quebrantas una regla, es más fácil quebrantar la próxima.
So this is why the main concept is very important to this parasha.
Por eso que el concepto principal es sumamente importante para este parashá.
You can't understand the Tower of Babel
No puedes entender la torre de Babel
and why Jehovah did it
y por qué Jehová lo hizo
until you first understand the main concept.
hasta que primero entiendas el primer concepto. El concepto principal.
So let's go to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Let's go to Bereshit 13, Genesis 13, verse 10.
Vamos a Génesis capítulo 13, versículo 10.
Bereshit 13, Genesis 13, verse 10.
Génesis capítulo 13, versículo 10.
Parasha 13, verse 10.
Génesis capítulo 13, versículo 10.
Lot looked up and saw the whole plain of the Jordan was well watered everywhere, before Jehovah destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of Jehovah, like the land of Egypt in the direction of Zoar. Okay, so before Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed,
Antes que se destruyera Sodoma y Gomorra,
it was a beautiful place.
era un lugar de belleza.
But the word destroyed there is the Hebrew word shakat
Pero
again.
la palabra destruido ahí es nuevamente la palabra hebrea shahat.
Something can start out good.
Algo puede comenzar bueno.
Like when the Lord,
bien.
when Jehovah made the heavens and the earth,
Cuando Jehová hizo los cielos y la tierra,
it was perfect.
era perfecto.
When he made Hasatan, Lucifer,
Cuando hizo a Hasatán,
he was perfect
él era perfecto.
until unrighteousness was found in him.
Hasta que la injusticia se le encontró en él.
He became corrupted.
Vino a ser corrupto, corrompido.
And that's Ezekiel 38.
Y ese es Ezequiel 38.
You choose Zadik, righteousness,
Escoges o eliges Zadik, justicia,
or you choose Shakat, destruction.
o eliges Shahat, destrucción.
This is why Beth Goin preaches Yeshua and the Torah.
Por eso es que Beth Goim predica Yeshua
And
la
the Torah.
Torah.
You can't have one without the other.
No puedes tener uno sin el otro.
So we all know what happens to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Todos sabemos qué sucede con Sodoma y
They get
Gomorra.
overtaken by the Democrats.
Viene a ser apoderado por los demócratas.
They become a socialist state.
Se hacen un estado socialista.
They become like San Francisco,
Se vuelven como San Francisco,
Nancy Pelosi's district,
el distrito de Nancy Pelosi,
and they have all these gay people there.
y tienen todos estos homosexuales,
And then they become like Las Vegas,
se vienen a aparecer a Las Vegas,
okay, where sin is abound in Amora.
a donde el pecado abunde.
Only took you an hour and a half to get here? Okay, so then when you don't want to follow Elohim's will,
Entonces, cuando no quieres seguir la voluntad de Elohim,
when you go against his will,
cuando vas en contra de su voluntad,
he is going to shakat, he's going to destroy you.
Él te va a shahat, Él te va a destruir.
This is why this concept must be understood when reading Parasha number 2.
Por eso que este concepto tiene que ser entendido, entendido cuando lees la parashá número 2.
You can't understand the rainbow being out there
No puedes entender el arco iris
until you understand this concept of corruption.
hasta que entiendas este concepto de la corrupción.
Any questions so far?
¿Hay preguntas hasta ahora?
Let's go on to the next slide.
Hasta la próxima diapositiva.
Turn to Exodus Shemot 12, verse 23 and 24.
Vamos a Éxodo capítulo 12, versículos 23 y 24.
Shemot 12, verse 23 and 24. Exodus 12.
Shemot 12, 23 y 24, Éxodo capítulo 12,
Anybody-
versículos 23
Y'all
y
enjoy-
24.
Y'all enjoying the study?
¿Están disfrutando este estudio?
Shemot 23, verse 12, Shemot 12, verse 23 and 24.
Éxodo 12, versículos 23 y 24.
For Jehovah will pass through to kill the Egyptians. But when he sees the blood on the top and the two sides, Jehovah will pass over the door and will not allow the slaughterer to enter your house and kill you. You are to observe this as a law, you and your descendants forever. Amen?
Amen.
A lot of people do not do this law anymore.
Muchos no practican esta ley ya.
We used to have a lot of people that came to the congregation
Teníamos mucha gente que venían a la congregación
who left after a Passover meal.
que se apartaron después de una cena de Passover.
Because we did
Exacto.
what it says here.
Porque hicimos lo que se dicta aquí.
We put the blood on the top and the two doorposts of the congregational door.
Pusimos la sangre en los tindeles de la puerta.
Doesn't it say this is a law for you and your descendants forever?
¿No dice que esto es una ley para ti y tus descendientes para siempre?
Well, you can't do that. Jesus did it all.
No puede hacer eso, sino Jesús lo pagó todo.
It says, put the blood on the door.
Dice que ponga la sangre sobre la puerta.
You and your descendants forever.
Tú y tus descendientes para siempre.
Now that was a side note for this study,
Eso fue una nota extra para este
but
estudio.
it's really not.
Pero en verdad no lo es.
Because we see in verse 23,
Porque vemos en el versículo 23
it says that when the Jehovah will pass over the door and will not allow the slaughterer to enter your house and kill you.
que dice que Jehová pasará sobre tu puerta y no permitirá que el slaughterer,
Destroyer.
el destructor que entre en tus hogares.
Because the word there in Hebrew
Porque la palabra ahí en hebreo,
and in other translations it's the word destroyer.
en otras traducciones es destructor. In
the Hebrew,
En el hebreo
it's the Hebrew word shakat again.
es la palabra hebrea shahat nuevamente.
So when you're doing what Jehovah wants,
Cuando estás haciendo lo que Jehová quiere,
and Noah was the only one that was doing what Jehovah wanted,
y no era el único que estaba haciendo lo que Noé quería, lo que el padre quería,
the destroyer will not come into your home.
el destructor no entrará en tus hogares.
When the people in that house are doing what Jehovah has commanded them to do,
Cuando aquellos en la casa están haciendo lo que Jehová ha mandado hacer,
the destroyer won't come in,
el destructor no entrará.
and God will protect that home.
Y Dios protegerá ese hogar.
Now, I don't know Torah.
Yo no conozco la Torah.
Well, Noach was called righteous, right?
Se le llamó a Noé justo, ¿no?
By God, he was called righteous, right?
Por Dios él fue llamado justo.
So now we have the written Torah.
Ahora tenemos la Torah escrita,
We have Yeshua's example,
tenemos el ejemplo de Yeshua,
and we're descendants of Adam and Chava,
y somos descendientes de Adán y Eva,
and we're descendants of those 8 on the ark.
y somos descendientes de los 8 que estaban en el arca.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Let's go to Exodus 32, Shemot 32, verse 6
Vamos a Éxodo capítulo 32, versículo 6
and 7.
y 7.
32, 6, verse 32, 6 and 7.
Éxodo capítulo 32, versículos 6 y 7.
Exodus 32, verse 6 and 7.
Éxodo 32, versículos 6 y 7 on WTRC Radio.
.com.
Brum.
Early the next morning they got up and offered burnt offerings and presented peace offerings. Afterward the people sat down to eat and drink. Then they got up. Kelly, could you close the door over there, please? I can hear you. Afterwards, the people sat down and eat and drink. They got up to indulge in revelry. Could you go close that door, please? YEHOVAH said to Moshe, "Go down, hurry, your people whom you brought up from the land of Egypt have become corrupt." Okay, let's read that again. Otromas. Early the next morning, they got up and offered the burnt offerings and presented peace offerings. After the people sat down to eat and drink, they got up to indulge in revelry. YEHOVAH said to Moshe, "Go down, hurry. Your people whom you brought up from the land of Egypt have become corrupt." Okay? So here the word corrupt is used again.
Aquí la palabra corrompido se usa de nuevo.
The word corrupt is
Corrupto.
used again.
La palabra corrupto o corrompido se usa de nuevo.
It's very important understanding.
Es un entendimiento bien importante.
See, the people of Israel and the mixed multitude
¿Ves? El pueblo de Israel y la multitud mixta
had been set free from bondage.
han sido liberados
From slavery.
después de la esclavitud.
They were walking with God.
Estaban caminando con Dios,
Moshe has gone up to go receive the commandment.
que ellos, después,
Moshe had gone up to receive the commandments,
Moisés subió el monte Sinaí para recibir los mandamientos
and he's gone 40 days.
y está con Dios 40 días.
And within inside of 40 days,
Y entre 40 días,
the people become corrupt. They go back to what they were doing.
el pueblo se corrompe y han regresado a lo que estaban haciendo.
But they had seen miracles.
Han visto milagros.
They were walking with God.
Estaban caminando con Dios.
Manna had already fallen from heaven.
La maná ya ha caído del cielo.
Every morning they would go pick up the manna outside their door.
Cada mañana ellos recogían la maná afuera de su puerta.
So this shows a choice
Esto demuestra una elección
that each person can make.
que cada persona puede hacer.
Now they got up and indulged in revelry, a lot of sexual pleasures.
Y ahora ellos estaban cometiendo muchos actos de placeres sexuales.
And I'm not just talking with your husband or wife.
Y no solo estoy hablando con tu esposo o esposa,
We're talking in a group.
estamos hablando entre un grupo.
They're drinking, they're getting drunk,
Estaban embriagándose,
but they were just walking with God.
pero ellos acabaron de caminar con Dios.
And they just decided to be a bunch of pagans.
Y ellos decidieron volverse unos paganos.
Or as the song says from the 1960s, love the one you're with.
O la canción como dice la canción de los años 60, que ama con quien tú estés.
Or what they're teaching in the public school today.
O lo que están enseñando en las escuelas públicas hoy en día.
You know, to just be with whomever.
Estar con quien sea.
Or like the high school did in Pennsylvania this week.
O como la escuela superior hizo en Pensilvania esta semana.
Because the one boy didn't like a transvestite.
Porque un niño no le agradó un transvesti.
They made an 11th grader strip in front of a bunch of girls in the girls' locker room.
Hizo que un muchacho de tercer año se desnudara en el cuarto de las mujeres, de las niñas.
That's going to cure him.
Eso lo va a curar.
Well, You might make him a pagan, and that's what your whole goal is.
Tal vez lo conviertas en un pagano y ese puede ser tu meta.
But the world has become corrupt.
Pero el mundo se ha corrompido.
But so did the people that left Egypt.
Corrompido, ¿eh?
So did the people that left
Y
Egypt.
también la gente que salieron de Egipto.
You know, this is not 100 days after they left Egypt.
Esto no es ni 100 días después que salieron de Egipto.
Because in Exodus 20, they get the 10 commandments.
Porque en Éxodo 20 reciben los 10 mandamientos.
So this is a little bit after that,
Esto es un poco después de eso.
and they had already become corrupted.
Y ya han corrompido.
So now we're getting a good picture of what corruption is.
Ahora vemos claramente lo que es la corrupción.
Let's go to the next scripture.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Turn to Leviticus 19, Vayikra 19, verse 27.
Vamos a Levíticos capítulo 19, versículo 27.
Remember, we talked about the coronavirus, the corona sin virus.
Acuérdate que hablamos sobre el virus de corona de pecado.
Let's see what Vayikra 19, verse 27 says.
Vamos a ver qué dice Levíticos 19, 27.
Leviticus 19, verse 27.
Levíticos 19, versículo 27.
Vayikra 19, verse 27.
Levíticos 19, versículo 27.
Don't round your hair at the temples or mar the edges of your beard. Okay? We're focusing on the word mar.
Estamos enfocándonos en la palabra dañar.
Mar is the word shakat again.
La palabra dañar es la palabra shahat nuevamente.
That means to corrupt.
Eso significa corrompir.
When you shave off
Cuando te afeitas
or cut your beard off,
o te cortas la barba,
you have the corona sin virus.
tienes la virus de pecado corona.
Let me say that again.
Deja repetir eso.
When you shave off,
Cuando te afeitas,
and many Jews, the Orthodox rabbis,
los rabinos ortodoxos
say if you use an electric razor, you're not shaving off your beard.
dicen que si usas una rasuradora eléctrica que no te estás afeitando la barba.
That means they're breaking verse 27.
Eso quiere decir que están quebrantando versículo 27.
Because you're still cutting off the beard.
Porque todavía te estás cortando la barba.
Or if you try to just keep it short.
O si tratas de recortarla.
Because, well, I'll have a beard, but I'm going to keep it short.
Oh, pues tengo barba, pero la voy a mantener recortadita.
Well, here in verse 27, let's read verse 27 again.
Aquí vamos a leer el versículo 27 nuevamente.
Don't round your hair at the temples. That means that's a different word. Or mar the edges of your beard. Okay? The rounding of your hair is a different word than shakat.
El volarse el pelo es una palabra diferente de shahat.
That word is to shave off.
Esa palabra es afeitarse.
Here in verse 27, he says, don't touch it.
En el versículo 27 dice que no te lo toques.
Don't trim it.
No te lo recortes.
Just let it grow.
Solo deja que crezca.
See, once you start breaking one law,
Cuando comienzas a quebrantar una ley,
you get the virus.
recibes el
And
virus.
then you can get to Noach's level.
Entonces puedes llegar al nivel de Noé.
And here, what did Yeshua say in Matthew?
Y aquí, ¿qué fue lo que Yeshua dijo en Mateo?
It'll be just like in the days of Noach.
Será como en los días de Noé.
Because you don't want to follow the Lord's word.
Porque no quieres seguir la palabra de Dios.
And, the Messianics are no better.
Y los mesiánicos no son tan mejores.
Many Messianics teach the Gentiles don't have to follow the law.
Muchos mesiánicos enseñan que los gentiles no tienen que seguir la ley.
Well, Noach wasn't a Gentile and he was following the law.
Eh,
He was a Gentile and he was following the law.
Noé era un gentil y él estaba siguiendo la ley.
And it says no matter where you live,
Y dice, no importa dónde mores.
Do we still have to
o
keep
dónde
Shabbat no matter where we
vivas.
live?
Todavía tenemos que guardar el Shabbat, no importa dónde vivamos.
So then I guess we have to keep everything else.
So, creo que debemos de quitar, guardar el resto. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it just, I saw it go out that door. Yeah, okay, never mind. It'll come back to me. I'll ask you later.
Any
Sorry.
questions?
Sorry.
Are you feeling sick, Chris? Yes, Natalie?
But it's not related, it has to do with Shabbat, but it's not related to what we're talking about now.
I will leave that to the end. Okay, so this is when, Yeshua said, once you've broken one, you've broken them all.
Yeshua dijo que cuando quebrantas uno, lo ha quebrantado todo.
And it leads to total corruption.
Y te lleva a la corrupción total.
Because remember Genesis 6, verse 12.
Porque acuérdate Génesis
6, verse 12.
versículo 12.
Where it said, all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth.
A donde dice que toda carne ha corrompido su camino en la tierra.
How does it start?
¿Cómo comienza?
You let sin into your life.
Permites que el pecado entre en tu vida.
And then it's that virus.
Y entonces recibes ese virus.
And it goes waka, 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 waka,
Y
waka.
hace como el Pac-Man, que hace waka, waka, waka.
No, then it gets a power up. Once you let one sin in, it powers up.
Cuando permites que el pecado entra, se apodera.
And then it goes waka, 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 waka.
Y hace waka, 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 hasta que llegue al fantasma y después hace.
And that's if you choose to be a Zadik.
Y eso es si eliges ser Zadik.
Let's go to the next slide.
A la próxima diapositiva.
Let's turn to Devarim 31.
Vamos a Deuteronomio capítulo 31.
Deuteronomy 31, verse 28 and 29.
Deuteronomio 31, versículos 28 y 29.
This will answer your DNA question.
Okay. Deuteronomy is the fifth book.
Fifth book.
Dude, I'm
Last book of the Torah.
Último libro de la Torah.
Devarim 31, verse 28 and 29. Deuteronomy 31, verse 28 and 29.
Deuteronomio 31, 28 y 29.
This will answer the DNA question from earlier.
Esto va a contestar la pregunta sobre el ADN que se iba a hacer más temprano.
Assemble for me all the leaders of your tribes and your officials so that I can say these things in their hearing, calling heaven and earth to witness against them, because I know that after my death you will become very corrupt and turn aside from the way that I have ordered you. And that disaster will come upon you in the Acharit time, in the end of days, because you do what YEHOVAH sees as evil and provoke him by your deeds. Amen?
Amen.
Okay, so in verse 29 it says you're going to become very corrupt.
Versículo 29 dice que te vas a corrompir grandemente.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Because in your DNA
Porque en tu ADN
lies all good and all evil.
existe todo el mal y todo el bien.
He then later goes on to say, I'm going to call you back.
Después él dice que te va a llamar de regreso.
But what we're focusing on here is the word corrupt for this study.
Lo que estamos enfocándonos aquí es en la palabra corrupto o corrompido.
Let's read verse 29 again.
Vamos a leer el versículo 29 nuevamente.
Because I know that after my death you will become very corrupt and turn aside from the way that I have ordered you, and that disaster will come upon you in the Acharit Taimim, because you will do what YEHOVAH sees as evil and provoke him by your deeds. Amen?
Amén.
See, when you do what is evil in his sight,
Cuando haces lo que es malvado en sus ojos,
You're provoking God to wrath.
Estás provocando a Dios a la ira.
And here, corrupt is the word shakat.
Y aquí la palabra corrupto o corrompido es la palabra shakat.
See, when you provoke Jehovah
Cuando provocas a Jehová
by your deeds,
por tus hechos,
you have the corona sin virus.
tienes el virus de pecado corona.
And if Jehovah is the same yesterday, today, and forever,
Y si Jehová es el mismo ayer, hoy, para siempre,
and in Matthew 5, verse 18,
y Mateo 5:18,
Yeshua says, not one jot or tittle will be missing from the law until heaven and earth pass away.
Yeshua dice que ni una jota ni un tilde desaparecerá de la Torá hasta que el cielo y la tierra pasen.
Moshe is saying, in the end of days,
Moshe está diciendo en los días finales,
and
en
Yeshua,
los últimos días,
Yeshua confirms this,
y Yeshua lo confirma,
because Yeshua said it'll be like in the days of Noach.
porque Yeshua dice que será como en los días de Noé.
But you can't understand the Parasha number 2,
Pero no puedes entender Parasha número 2
until you understand Shechat,
hasta que entiendas Shechat,
what is corruption.
que es la corrupción.
See, when you don't have somebody teaching Torah,
Cuando tienes a alguien que no está enseñando la Torá,
not Talmud,
o cuando tienes a alguien que está enseñando la Torá, no Talmud,
not the Zohar,
no el Zohar,
not the Kabbalah,
no la Kabbalah,
You know, when people are surfing,
cuando la gente está en busca,
looking for teachers that makes them, oh yeah, that's what I want to hear.
buscando instructores que le agrade con lo que quieren escuchar.
Somebody's not teaching strictly Torah.
Alguien no está enseñando estrictamente la Torá.
You're going to get the corona sin virus.
Vas a recibir el virus de pecado corona.
There's a lot of people that leave Christianity.
Hay mucha gente que salen del cristianismo.
A lot of people leave Catholicism or nothing.
Mucha gente salen del catolicismo o nada.
Go to Christianity.
Entran o llegan al cristianismo.
Begin to read their Bible.
Comienzan a leer sus Biblias.
Go, why aren't we doing the Sabbath?
Entonces hacen la pregunta, ¿por qué no estamos guardando el Shabbat?
Then they go to Messianic Judaism.
Entran al judaísmo mesiánico.
Oh, you're not the only people who've been doing this for 20 years.
No son los únicos. Estoy haciendo esto 20 años.
You're just the new plants.
Solo son las plantas nuevas.
He pruned off a few families, and now he
Él-
brought a few new families in.
Él cortó
Uh-huh.
algunas familias e injertó algunos.
But they're
nuevos.
looking for that Talmudic stuff.
Están buscando por las enseñanzas talmúdicas.
I'm not going to do that here.
Yo no lo voy a hacer aquí.
I need to be able to say it's right there.
Necesito saber, necesito poder decir que está ahí.
Why am I wearing tzitzit? It's right there.
¿Por qué tengo los sisi puestos? Porque está ahí.
Why do I not light the candles on Friday night? Because I can't find it.
¿Por qué no enciendo las velas los viernes en la tarde? Porque no lo encuentro.
Is it beautiful? Yes.
¿Es bello? Sí.
Is it pagan? Yes.
¿Es pagano? Sí.
Once you broke in one,
Cuando quebrantas uno,
then you get the corona sin virus.
entonces recibes el virus de pecado corona.
Yes, sir.
It's like what you just finished saying, that you need to be able to point to it. I was told today something about Adam and Eve.
Who?
Adam and Eve.
Who?
Adán y Java.
Amen.
Sorry, I forgot where I was. That there's a couple of teachings going around, and it was brought to my attention in the conversation that the rabbis are saying that God presented Adam and Eve with the two trees, and that they were given the responsibility to fix the earth because the earth was in chaos. And I'm like, thinking to myself, wait a minute, the only time we saw the earth in chaos was in Genesis 1:1. I mean 1:2, right? Huh? 1, 2, 3.
1, Verse 2 and 3.
verse 2 and 3.
That's to be on the other study on what Yeshua created.
Right, but then
To whom?
they were saying that Adam was looking at the tree of life, but Eve took the tree of good and evil because they had to go drop down a level to fix the earth. And I'm like, where does it say that at?
I'd like to read that too.
Yeah.
I think it's in the Zohar.
That's in the Zohar.
Yes.
I gotta get me one. I gotta find that because I have to answer this guy, man. I have to. Now I'm itching to get the information.
Yeah, Zohar or
Wouldn't you be opening doors to something that you don't want in your life? And you
Well,
searching for information like that?
couldn't I direct him back to the Torah in verse instead of just leaving them continue to get lost in Zohar?
it's probably Zohar or Talmud Bereshit 2.
I look. That's the way I look at it. If I know you and I see that you're studying something different, I'm going to try to study it so this way I can bring you back.
Well, the way to answer his question is 2 fishing expedition questions.
Okay, la pregunta que yo tenía no fue una pregunta, fue algo que yo describí que me sucedió hoy, que alguien me habló sobre el estado de Adán y Eva, que tenían que bajar del estado de ellos para poder arreglar el caos que existía en el mundo. Y yo le pregunté al muchacho que me enseñara a dónde se encuentra esto, porque no se ve en la Biblia.
The first question is, can you tell me the 10 commandments, at least in English?
La primera pregunta que se le debe hacer a esa persona es si puede recitar los 10 mandamientos por lo menos en inglés.
Second question, 7 holy days and their dates.
Y la segunda pregunta, los 7 días santos y sus fechas.
And when they can't answer that,
Y si no lo pueden contestar,
then you say, why don't you start reading what is perfect instead of what is imperfect?
entonces le dice, ¿por qué no comienzas a leer lo que es perfecto en vez de leer lo que es imperfecto?
Because he probably won't be able to answer those 2 questions.
Porque él tal vez no pueda contestar esas 2 preguntas.
Then you don't need to go to the Zohar.
Entonces no hay necesidad de entrar al Zohar. Yeah, you're right.
See, what people do is they slingshot from Christianity
Lo que la gente hacen es que saltan del cristianismo,
go to Messianic Judaism,
entran al judaísmo mesiánico,
then they leave Yeshua and go to Judaism.
Yeah, entonces niegan a Yeshua y entran al ortodoxo. Yeah, al judaísmo
I heard a
ortodoxo.
story last night. Another person did the same thing. That
We have 3 people here that did that? Yeah. Yeah.
they left Messiah
4
altogether.
people, they left Messiah.
Okay, so let's go back to this study.
Vamos a regresar al estudio.
Because once you turn aside from the Torah and Yeshua,
Porque ya cuando te echas a la Torah para un lado y a Yeshua,
you're going to get corrupted,
vas a corrompir.
and then you're going to provoke Yehovah.
Corromperte.
Let's go to the next slide.
Thanks. Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Proverbs 6, Mishal 6,
Proverbios 6,
verse 32.
versículo 32.
You're listening to the Citygate Messianic Bible Study from Beth Goyim on WTRCradio.com. Record it. You're listening to the Citygate Messianic Bible Study on WTRCradio.com. Okay, Proverbs 6, verse 32.
Proverbios 6, versículo 32.
6:32.
6:32.
This is an incredible verse.
Este es un versículo increíble.
Got it there, Chris? He who commits adultery lacks sense. He who does it destroys himself. Wow. You commit adultery.
El que comete adulterio es falta de sentido. ¿Sentido?
I don't
Y
know.
el que lo hace se destruye el mismo.
Yes, sense, sentido.
Yeah.
He who does it destroys himself. The word destroy there is shakat.
La palabra para destruir ahí es shahat.
You're going to destroy yourself.
Tú te vas a destruir tú mismo.
Because adultery is a stoning sin.
Porque el adulterio es un pecado de muerte, de apedreamiento.
But you're not only going to destroy yourself,
Pero no solo te va a destruir a ti mismo,
you're going to destroy the person you had sex with.
vas a destruir la persona con quien tuviste relaciones.
Because you don't just stone the adulterer, the man.
Porque no simplemente se apedrea solo el hombre o una persona,
You destroy both people.
hay que destruir los dos.
That's why in John 8 they didn't stone the woman.
Por eso fue que en Juan 8 no destruyeron a la mujer.
Had they brought the man, Yeshua said, take her outside, stone her.
Si hubieran traído el hombre también, los dos hubieran sido apedreados.
They only brought her.
Solo la trajeron a
She
ella.
was caught in the act.
A
She
ella
was
la
having
sorprendieron,
sex.
a ella la sorprendieron.
So everybody who touched her was unclean.
Solo que las tocaron se volvieron impuros.
Then they brought her to the court of the women.
Entonces la llevaron al atrio, a la corte de las mujeres. Right.
And made the court unclean in the temple.
Hicieron que la corte fuera impuro en el templo.
Then anybody who was touched her went into the temple, made the temple unclean.
Entonces lo que la tocaron se volvieron impuros en el templo.
See, it's a choice.
Es una elección.
Let's go to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
Now let's go back to Matthew 24, verse 37 to 39.
Vamos a regresar a Mateo 24, 37 al 39.
Matthew 24, verse 37 to 39.
Mateo capítulo 24, versículos 37 al 39.
Without this understanding,
Sin este entendimiento,
you cannot understand Parasha number 2.
no puedes entender la segunda parasha.
So this is what we're going to do for another. We'll see how long we keep doing it, but each week I'm going to bring the next Parasha.
Cada semana, vamos a ver por cuánto tiempo hacemos esto, pero cada semana voy a traer una nueva parasha.
So you can have the concept for each Parasha.
Para que puedas tener el concepto principal, right?
You know, the principal concept.
El concepto principal para cada parasha.
For the Son of Man's coming will be just as it was in the days of Noah. Back then, before the flood, people went on eating and drinking, taking wives and becoming wives, right up until the day Noah entered the ark. And they didn't know what was happening until the flood came and swept them all away. It will be just like that when the Son of Man comes. Now you understand what he's talking about.
Ahora entiendes de lo que le está hablando.
Because the people corrupt themselves.
Porque la gente se corrompen ellos mismos.
Because when you don't follow God's commandments,
Porque cuando no sigues los mandamientos de Dios,
you're a spiritual adulterer.
eres un adúltero espiritual.
So when you're shaving your beard,
Cuando estás afeitándote la barba,
even with an electric razor,
hasta con una navaja eléctrica,
you're a spiritual adulterer.
es un adúltero espiritual.
Now, there are certain jobs that you cannot have a beard, and the Lord understands that.
Hay ciertos trabajos a donde no puede tener barba y el Señor sí entiende eso.
You know, a firefighter can't have a long beard,
Un bombero no puede tener una barba
because then he can't be a firefighter,
porque entonces no puede ponerse la máscara.
because the
para
mask will
protegerse.
make a seal.
Sí, porque entonces la máscara no sella.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima diapositiva.
2 Peter chapter 2.
Segunda carta de Pedro, capítulo 5.
2 Peter chapter 2.
Segunda carta de Pedro, capítulo 2, versículos 5 al 7.
No, 10. Yes.
10. Ufa.
You got to get the whole concept. Got 2 more slides. Or 3 more slides.
3 diapositivas más.
2 more scriptures.
2 escrituras más.
Then you'll have an understanding
Entonces vas a tener un entendimiento
of corruption.
de corrupción.
And if you like this teaching, give us a thumbs up.
Y si le gusta esta enseñanza, por favor,
You don't like this teaching?
denos un like.
You don't like this teaching? Keep your opinion to yourself.
Si no te gusta esta enseñanza, guarda tu opinión para otra ocasión.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 5 through 10.
Segunda carta de Pedro, capítulo 2, versículos 5 al 10.
And he did not spare the ancient world. On the contrary, he preserved Noach, a herald of righteousness with 7 others, and brought the flood upon the world of ungodly people. And he condemned the cities of Sodom in the morning, reducing them to ashes and ruin, and warning those, as a warning to those in the future who would live ungodly lives. But he rescued Lot, a righteous man who was distressed by the debauchery and those unprincipled people. Next slide. For the wicked deeds which that righteous man saw and heard as he lived among them tormented his righteous heart day after day. So the Lord knows how to rescue the godly from trials and how to hold the wicked until the day of judgment, while continuing to punish them, especially those who follow their old natures in lust for filth and who despise authority, presumptuous and self-willed. These false teachers do not tremble at insulting angelic beings. It's a pretty powerful part that Kefa gave us there. Are you? I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
Esto es una sección bien poderosa de las Escrituras.
God knows how to rescue you.
Dios sabe cómo rescatar.
But as we see in verse 6,
Pero como podemos ver en el versículo 6,
and he condemned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, reducing them to ashes and ruin, as a warning to those in the future who would live ungodly lives. So you don't want to follow the Torah?
so no quieres seguir la Torah,
Let Sodom and Gomorrah be a witness to you.
deja que Sodoma y Gomorra sean testigos para ti.
And remember, they were
Contra ti.
living under grace because the written Torah was not around.
Acuérdate que ellos estaban bajo la gracia porque la Torah escrita no estaba en existencia.
Moses and Aaron had not been born yet,
Moisés y Aarón no habían nacido todavía,
but God destroyed them.
pero Dios los destruyó a ellos.
And let's go to our last scripture,
Vamos a la escritura final.
Revelation 6, verse 1.
Apocalipsis capítulo 6, versículo 1.
Revelation 6, verse 1, that's the last book.
Apocalipsis 6, versículo 1, ese es el último libro.
Go to the maps and make a left. Last book, Gregorio, in that pink room.
It's only a couple of scriptures past.
That was a pink room, man.
That's a pink room? It's really pink?
Yeah, it's really pink. It's the color my sister had her room
Oh, wow.
in the 1970s.
Oof, a real man has a pink room?
No. No, the real men, this is what's going to happen to a real man with a pink room.
Esto es lo que le va a suceder a los verdaderos hombres con cuartos color rosado.
Next, I watched as the Lamb broke the first of the 7 seals. And I heard one of the 4 living beings say in a thundering voice, "Go!" Why did the Lamb break the seals?
¿Por qué rompió los sellos el cordero?
It said the Lamb, that's Yeshua.
Dice el cordero que está hablando de Yeshua.
I thought we were living under grace.
Creía que estaba viviendo bajo la gracia.
Why did Yeshua break the seal?
¿Por qué Yeshua rompió el sello?
Go back to Genesis 6, verse 12.
Regresemos a Génesis capítulo 6, versículo 12.
Go back to where we started.
Vamos a regresar a donde comenzamos.
Genesis 6, verse 12.
Génesis 6, versículo 12.
Why does Yeshua open the seals?
¿Por qué es que Yeshua abre los sellos?
Genesis 6, verse 12.
Génesis capítulo 6, versículo 12.
Elohim saw the earth and saw that it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. Yeshua and the Father are of one mind and spirit.
Yeshua y el Padre son uno en mente y en espíritu.
So he opens the seal
So él rompe el sello
because he sees everything is corrupted,
porque él ve que todo se ha corrompido,
or most everything is
o
corrupted.
casi todo se ha corrompido.
See this, when you understand what corrupted is,
Cuando entiendes que es la corrupción,
then you can understand Parasha number 2.
entonces puedes entender la segunda
You
parasha.
can't understand the flood until you understand corruption.
No puedes entender el diluvio hasta que entiendas la corrupción.
You can't understand why all the rainbow flags are up.
No puedes entender porque todas las banderas de arcoíris están puestas.
God is using the devil to promote his word.
Dios está usando el diablo para promover su palabra.
That this is what happens
Que
when you live an ungodly life.
Esto es lo que sucede cuando vives una vida pecaminosa. Sin
You
Dios.
can't understand the offering that Noach did until you understand why he does the offering.
No puedes entender la ofrenda que hizo Noé hasta que entiendas. Can't understand the offering that Noah did.
Until you understand why he does the offering.
Hasta que entiendas el por qué él lo hizo.
And finally,
Y finalmente,
you can't understand the confusion, the Tower of Babel and the confusion of languages
no puedes entender la Torre de Babel y la confusión de las lenguas
until you understand what they were trying to do.
hasta que entiendas lo que ellos estaban tratando de hacer.
And it only took 10 generations to get corrupted all over again.
Y solo se llegó a 10 generaciones para que se volviera a corrompir.
Any last questions before we wrap up in a word of prayer?
Hay otras
Next
preguntas
slide.
en la próxima diapositiva.
Huh?
This
Okay.
has been another lesson live on WTRCradio.com.
All right, let's close in a word of prayer, and then we'll take the question about that's not part of the subject. All right, thank you, Lord, for your blessings today. Thank you, Lord, for this teaching tonight. We have grown more in your word and understanding. May we do all that's in our power to choose to be righteousness, to choose to be righteous. In your name, Yeshua, and everybody said, Amen. Shalom Aleichem. Till next week.
Shalom, this is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman. I would personally like to thank you for tuning in to the Remnant's Call each and every week. You can listen to the full message on our website, bethgoyim.org. If you have drawn closer to the King of Kings, learned more about Him today, we are blessed. If you are blessed by these messages, please consider a donation to our ministry. You can go to our website, bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. And click on the donate button. You do not have to have a PayPal account to donate. All you need is a debit card. Once again, thank you very much for listening to The Remnant's Call.
If you have not taken your first steps to be born again, just ask God's help. Remember, it's His loving grace that has come to find you. No one is worthy or able to reach God, but God can reach us, and He's reaching out to you now. Just open your heart and let Him in. His arms are open, and the blessing of salvation and eternal life are waiting for you. Don't let it wait any longer.
Ya Adonai, panavoleka, vikuneka, Yisa Adonai, panavoleka, vayasem lecha, shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift His face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and give you His shalom.
Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture, truly the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend the day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into his eternal word, not with just 1 or 2 scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of his kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's Parasha. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.